It's coming out. Well, in order to celebrate that, let's do an entire history of Piggy. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So, in late 2019 and early 2020, Minitoon, a Roblox developer who had made Iron Assault and a SCP Containment Breach, made a Roblox game called Piggy because he had played a Peppa Pig game called Escape the Peppa Pig Killer, which I think it was called, and he said to himself, "Yeah, this game kind of sucks. I can just make this but like better." So that's what he did. He made it but better. So, and he named it Piggy and uploaded it on Roblox. He intended the game as like a AI testing, scripting testing game. So he uploaded it, and it started gaining traction. A YouTuber by the name of Flamingo made some videos on it, and it started getting traction. Other YouTubers also started it, and the game just blew up overall. The game blew up. It literally took over the entire Roblox. It took over in the entirety of Roblox. So Minitoon thought of this as an opportunity to maybe get popularity on Roblox. So he continuously updated the game every single week, adding chapters, skins, more chapters, and he did it continuously for many weeks. Yeah, he did it for many weeks, many weeks. So as the game grew, it would all eventually come to an end, where Chapter 12 came out, and the game was for now confirmed to end. Although when it did, people didn't want it to end. So the game had gotten itself a sequel by the name of Piggy Book 2. This game was basically just like the first game, it was the continuation, but yeah, it gained less popularity, because simply because like they cared more about book one. Book two was harder. It had more stuff to do. It basically took you like if it took you 3 tries to complete a map in book one, then it would take you like more than that in book two, like 6 or something. It was that hard for some people. So the game just started getting less players because people want to beat stuff quicker. I mean, it's obvious. Would you rather play a game that you suck at or a game that you are so good at? You know, it's obviously the game you are good at. So that's what happened with Piggy. It just started gaining less popularity because book one ended and book two, well, they suck at it. So yeah, that's the unfortunate thing that happened to Piggy. Kinda sucks. So I'ma explain to you the entire story of the game, starting off with the book one. In chapter 1, you are a police officer who is looking to find a missing child known as George Piggy. So you make it to the Piggy family residence, but you get knocked out by someone or something. So you're trapped in the house, and you have to find a way to escape. But there's a monster in the house, so that you presume that presumably was the monster that attacked you and put you in the house. So you escaped the house and decided to go to the police station to tell the other police officers that this is serious and it has to be dealt with. So you go to the police station and attempt to tell the officers, but the alarm tells you. Wait, not alarm. Whatever it is called. Someone tells you through like you know those like announcer, yeah, like an announcer tells you that there's another monster inside the police station and that please retreat. So the player, who's an idiot, did not go for the front door because he thought there would be a monster. So he went to the garage and found his partner Doggy wanting a gasoline can to fuel up the car that he was driving. So the player gets the gasoline can and puts it in the car, and and player and his friend Doggy get out the station and attempt to go somewhere, which is unknown. Doggy asked the player how much fuel was in the can, but the player, not knowingly, put a gasoline can which had very low gas, had very low gas, so they got stuck in the middle of the city where a lot of monsters, or infected as Doggy calls them, were. Doggy and you, the player, go to the nearby gallery and escape the gallery, and chit chat about a random case they did in the alleyway, and then they go to the forest. You and Doggy stay for about 4 weeks in the forest, but suddenly someone or something gives Doggy a strange potion which turns him into an infected. The player not knowing this, so wakes up and seeing that Doggy, yep, he's infected. So the player escapes the forest and finds a radio, walkie-talkie, in the middle of the road. So he picks it up, and the walkie-talkie tells the player to go to the school and save their friend named Bunny. The player does exactly that, goes to the school of Lucella, and goes to the security and finds a bunny, a rabbit, who was stuck in the security room waiting to be freed. So Bunny and you, the player, go to the sewers to find the person who was using the walkie-talkie. Surprisingly, it was a famous billionaire or something known as Mr. P. So so it was kind of a shock to you that, wow, a big celebrity was calling you. But then suddenly the player faints for some unknown reason, which I'll get into a bit later. The player has to go to the hospital where he hallucinates seeing Doggy. Well, he thought that was the real Doggy, but he wakes up knowing that Doggy wasn't there, and Bunny tells him that they have to go to the helicopter pad as Mr. P was calling them there. So that's what the player and Bunny do. They go to the helicopter pad, but Mr. P, being an absolute literal idiot, escapes the hospital without player and Bunny. So player and Bunny decide to go to the underground subway and try to escape there. But everything has to come to an end. And Bunny tells the player that Mr. P had given her a potion and she's not feeling well. So then that leads her to think that, yeah, she's gonna probably be infected soon. So the player has to leave without her. So the player gets very mad at Mr. P for this disgusting crime, and goes to the carnival, which was owned by Mr. P, and tries to find him there. Well, the player escapes another infected and couldn't find Mr. P there, but he found a couple of them. Not a couple. I mean a pair of two friends known as Zizzy and Pony. So Zizzy and Pony told the player that they had a safe place in the nearby city. So, well, that's what they did. They went to the nearby city, escaped Grandma Piggy and the elephant, and went to the safe place. They chit-chatted about, Pony was an optimist and Zizzy was a fencing teacher. But they heard something from the alleyway. They heard something from the dumpster. So Player and Zizzy went to investigate and see what it was. They went to the nearby mall and went to the top floor, went to the ice cream room, I think, and then saw that what the person who was doing all the random stuff was actually George, the person that the player was looking for. So the player and Zizzy take George to the safe place to keep him safe, and Pony talks about a radio signal that was coming from a helicopter, and it was located at an outpost. The player, knowing that Mr. P went through a helicopter, was like, yeah, well, let's find that guy. Let's find Mr. P, assuming it was Mr. P. So the player, Zizzy, and Pony, and secretly George, who was not with them but did come there, went to the nearby outpost where Mr. P was. So they went to the outpost and defeated all the soldiers except a bunch. And then went to the power plant to go and find Mr. P. They find out George was also there with them. Because George, he wanted to beat up Mr. P. Like, he hates Mr. P. Mr. P is his arch nemesis. So Player and George, they go inside the power plant, but Zizzy and Pony did not go because there was a bunch more soldiers left at the outpost that George had alerted by, he didn't know, so he alerted them, and Zizzy and Pony, both being experienced fighters, decided to fend them off. So Player and George go to the power plant and confront Mr. P. Mr. P, who had become a severe psychopath, tried to attack both the player and Georgie. Although, if you go to the city map and go on player plus bot, go to a purple car and get the picture and do plant and get the bad ending, then you're gonna get the true ending in which Mr. P, after you give Mr. P the picture of his wife, then it becomes like, then confesses all the stuff he did. He says that he did the infection by an accident, as he tried to make a potion to save his wife. So for the potion, he had some test subjects by the Piggy family, all except George. So they tested the potion and they felt really strong. They felt like, yeah, they could do stuff. So Mr. P gave the potion to his wife, and well, it would all be good until the Piggy family started showing signs of aggression. Now, this was a bad thing. So the Piggy family became hostile and became infected. So did Mrs. P, and basically the entire outbreak fell. Because if you get like bitten by them, it's like a zombie apocalypse. If you get bitten by them, that means you're gonna be infected. Although the player did get attacked and I think bitten by them, but he did not become infected, which was a mystery until book 2 came out. So yeah, that's the entire story. But after Mr. P confesses everything that he did, player Georgie escaped the power plant and finds Zizzy and Pony. Like, they defeated them all, which is kind of surprising. So they talk about some stuff, and George tells them, yeah, why don't we go and find a cure, you know? So, and that's the sequel, and that's the end of Piggy Book 1. So for the book 2 story, it begins like a few months before the infection started, where Doggy and the player go to an alleyway to arrest some people. The people are Willow and Rash. Willow and Rash are criminals, so player and Doggy, they gotta arrest him. So that's exactly what they did. They arrested both of them, and Willow has a grudge on them. Because of that, I'll get to that in a bit. But Willow has a grudge on Player and Doggy for this. So, after the flashback, it cuts off to the present where Player, Zizzy, Pony, George, and the Safe Place crew, they're all just chilling. And Mimi, a member of the Safe Place crew, has a radio in which she says that this radio needs some batteries. So, can you bring some batteries? So Player, Pony, and Zizzy go to the store and steal some batteries. So they went to the store, and the shopkeeper actually got infected. So Dessa, the shopkeeper, pursued them, but Zizzy, Pony, and Player got the batteries and put them in the radio. The people on the radio said that they should meet on the Oak. But Pony was like, nah, maybe you're gonna die. Maybe we're gonna die. This may be bad. But Zizzy just tells him, nah, man, nah. Don't worry, we won't do it. And Player's just like, what the hell am I supposed to do? So, Player, Zizzy, and Pony go to On the Oak. And where they find TSP, the Silver Paw. If you don't know, in book 1 there were some notes which at the end it said like "Buy TSP," and everybody was like, "Oh my god, who the heck is TSP?" So TSP are these guys, and Willow is the leader of the group. So Willow has a grudge on the player, because he arrested her, and she has a grudge on Pony, because won't get into that a bit, and she just doesn't know Zizzy. She just thinks Zizzy is just a friend. So since she wants to make Pony and player suffer, she takes Zizzy and basically keeps her hostage. So Pony tells the player that he was a part of TSP, which stands for the Silver Cop. Pony wasn't there, and Willow has a grudge on him because he left the group. So Pony and player go to the TSP base, called Settlement 6. It's a refinery, the oil factory thing. So they go to the refinery, and then they went to a cell basically. I don't know how to call it, but they went to an area where Zizzy was. Zizzy was fighting an infected, which if you don't know, the infected is Polly, which was an officer. So they kind of cool. But yep. Pony, Zizzy and player have a reunion. I can't speak actually today. Oh my god, reunite. I can't speak. I'm actually bad at speaking. But basically they reunite and so Zizzy, she's like, yeah, I got a muscle, but instead it was actually a claw mark, a scratch from an infected, the officer infected. So Pony thought that was infected. That was a like you know how in zombies, if you're like bitten by them or scratched by them, you turn into a zombie. That's exactly what happened with Zizzy. So Pony thought that she would become an infected. So Pony and the player have to leave Zizzy all by herself. So they go back to the safe place and basically become depressed. They sleep, but the next day, Willow and her gang blow up the safe place and put the gang in the jail. Put the safe place members in jail because player and Pony actually ruined the refinery. Basically, they ruined the refinery, which had to cause a relocation in the TSP gang. So that's what happened. So Willow put the members in jail, the safe place members, but Z and Zuzi weren't there. Z and Zuzi, if you don't know, are Zizzy's sisters. So Zizzy's sisters, they escaped the safe place a while back, and they found the safe place crew and busted them out of there to the sewers. A player goes along with them because maybe someone will notice that there's a lot of people missing, or there's nobody in the cell. So that's why only player came. So player Z and Zuzi, the Zizzy sisters, get the other members of the safe place crew out of the jail cell. But Willow finds out about this and fights a player, and Pony, the other gang, has to leave because before that she shot Giraffe. So the gang had to retreat, and only player and Pony remained. So player and Pony defeated Willow, and if you got the savior ending, which is the canon ending, you save all TSP members. So Giraffe stays behind, but Mimi comes along with the gang because TSP members, all of them are there, so all of them are happy that you saved them. And Willow actually feels guilty for all the stuff she did, so she becomes a good guy, and they go to the docks or port, yeah, harbor port. So they go exactly there, and Willow's boat got stolen by Tigray because Tigray got bullied by Willow. So you know he stole the boat because he heard that Willow knew that there was a cure being made in the military across the North Sea. So they went they went they went to the harbor, but they couldn't find Willow's boat because Tigray, the goofy tiger, stole the boat, which led to player having to get the job done and activates the lighthouse, which attracts another ship to come by. And Captain Budgie owns the ship. Captain Budgie's a bird. So the bird guy tells the gang that there's no fuel in the ship. So Willow and the player have to go to the ship, go downstairs and find the fuel. Would they do so? But they actually get the door gets locked. And they basically argue with each other like, "Come on, like you're a dirty cop," and whatever. They have a back and forth conversation because player arrested Willow, so Willow has a beef with the player. But the gang got them out of the container thing, and they put the oil in it, and they arrived to Doveport. Um, they arrived to Doveport, which is the place across the North Sea, which is where the cure is. So that's exactly where they go. They go to the docks and they meet up with Tigray, who basically says to them that you shouldn't be working with Willow. She's using you for stuff. And Pony accepts the deal that yeah, I'm gonna work with you instead. But player says no, like we gotta learn more about Willow, after the conversation because they had the conversation. So that's exactly what happened. Player Willow, Pony, and the gang they go to the north, and it's snowy outside, but a robot stops them, and the owner of the robot, Kona, who is actually Mimi's friend, invites them to his house. He lives in Doveport. So they invited him over and stated that yeah, you can go through the lab in my place and go through it, and yeah, go through it. So that's exactly what they did. They went to the lab, and but if you got the saver ending, this is gonna be a bit different. If you go to the saver ending and escape temple, you're gonna meet up with somebody by the name of Tio, the incautious one. Tio, like I call him, basically states that he caused all of this to happen. He was the reason. He did all of this. He's basically the main bad guy of Piggy, and he wants to stop the player from getting the cure, which is why he sent all of his members, the insolents, as he calls them, to the north so that they can stop the gang from getting the cure. Why, you may ask? Well, he doesn't want wars over the cure, which is going to cause problems in the world. So, player does not agree with this, and instead, and they move on and one go to the military outpost. But Tio and his devious plans, well, Tio and his devious plans caused the outpost to basically be fully raided by infected. So there's just infected everywhere. But they go down the elevator in a cave, which is where the cure is, and they meet Tigray. So Willow and Tigray have a back and forth conversation because Tigray, no, not Willow bully Tigray, but yeah, but they fight. They beat up each other, and Willow's starting to choke Tigray, but Tigray set up TNT across the entire lab, and some TNT goes off, and basically the player is stuck in the middle. Pony's on one side, Willow and Tiger's on the other side, and player's on the middle. So player goes to the only door that he has available, but the problem is that Penny, the Penny Piggy, is across, and she's also controlled by the insolence now. Penny pursues the player, but if you save in docks, Marcus the bot of docks actually hits Pony. So if you prevent Pony from getting hit by Marcus, then you're gonna get something, and you go in camp and activate a secret code, the outpost thing. If you do that, then in chapter 12, the lab, you're gonna get like some secret code thing, in which you have to use the wrench in different spots. And after you do the code, Mimi sends a distress call to the military, I think, and the player finds a Tiger and Willow and tells them to stop fighting. You should be like friends or something. So yeah, that's what happens. Tiger and Willow like have a back and forth conversation, and they forgive each other for some reason. I don't know why, but they do that, and Mimi tells the gang to go outside the lab as there's people there. So they go outside and meet Sergeant Monroe, a leader of the military thing, I think, and they have like a thing, and Monroe's like, yeah, like this base basically like got infected. We don't know why, but suddenly, Dude Man, a TIO, sends his insolence members to the place and well causes the infected to appear from the snow, which sends the player straight to where Dude Man was. So after Tio, brings the player to whatever is weird or void dimension, he basically tells him like, "Come on, man, I'm disappointed with you. You tried to get the cure when I told you not to." And rambles like blah 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 and stuff, and the player is just like, no, I want to get the cure, I want to save the world and stuff. So Tio, getting mad at the player, becomes a gigantic black monster. I don't know, but he looks like Beast Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine, and then starts to pursue the player, showing him weird memories like from his past. But player having a gigantic big brain or something, knows that maybe I can use my memories against it. So in gameplay, you can give Bunny the carrot, Zizzy the grass, and Doggy the dog bone, and they'll all attack Tio because they all hate him for some reason. And after they attack him, Tio like gets badly injured and just calls us a buffoon. Okay, you can't be swearing like that, but he calls us a buffoon. And after that, we go back to the real world, or maybe we think, we're not actually sure yet, but we'll find out in Inner City. But after we go to the quote unquote real world, Sergeant Monroe basically tells the group to like, yeah, we're gonna go, guys. We gotta go. We gotta go like spread this cure out so the world won't be saved. And Willow and Tigray, Willow's a criminal and Tigray is a deserter. If you don't know what a deserter means, basically somebody who left the military, abandoned them. So so Willow and Tiger are just like, yeah, we're gonna go on our own. We don't we you know you're not gonna accept us, right? So we're just gonna go alone. So that's what they do. They go alone and they travel together basically. No ship intended. So Sergeant Monroe player, the gang, they basically just go out, and that's the game. Although after the credit scene, there's a post credit scene. They mini tune point to Marvel, and it was Zizzy's back. She's cured. She's well, and her and Pony are talking about the price of carrots. I'm not gonna lie, Pony cares more about carrots than is, Okay, but after that, it shows like an insolence portal, which either means that we're not in the real world and we're instead still in our memories, or either Tio's just watching us through his thing. So that's Piggy Book 2. What an interesting book, not gonna lie. Alright, so that's pretty much the entire story of the game, although there were some updates like character focused chapters, seasonal events like winter holiday, mansion, etc., and seasons like battle passes. Yeah, you know how battle passes work. Exactly how that, and build mode, which if you don't know, like you can build your own piggy maps. So those were all the extra stuff that came into the game. In my next video, I'm gonna be like telling you the story of the character focus chapters. So you know the story of those. But for now, that's all the game got. Although Piggy won Bloxy Awards, or Innovation Awards. If you don't know what the Bloxy Awards are, they're basically like the Grammys of Roblox, like Oscars of Roblox. So Piggy won three specific awards, and they're the best awards. It won a Game of the Year, Creator of the Year, and the Builderman Award of Excellence. These awards are basically like the biggest awards that you can get. And in the 2022 Innovation Awards, they changed the name because Innovation Award sounds more corporate. Piggy won another award, which is like best event of the year. So that's what Piggy got. So those are all of the stuff that Piggy did over the years. If there's anything I'm missing, let me know in the comments. But that's all. Yo, dude, what's up? I'm making a Piggy video.
Lol, imagine being a Piggy fanboy in 2024. Lol.
Idiots.
Oh, bro got mad at me just 'cause I don't like a Peppa Pig ripoff.
Does bro want to get bazookaed or something?
Is bro serious? You wanna kill me? Lol.
Fatality.
No!
Take the L, nerd. Subscribe for more.